Alright, what's going on, guys? So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bringing you the top 10 designer fragrances in my collection, okay? So obviously we all like great lists, we all like to acquire great perfumes, we like to acquire great fragrances. I'm gonna give you the top 10 designer fragrances at this point in my collection, okay? So all of these are gonna be designer scents, no niche, no cheapies, no clones yet, but these are gonna be all great finds for you to get out, try, add, and put together into the collection. So we're not gonna waste any time, we're gonna get right into it. First one that we have on deck is the timeless classic of the collection, so kind of the grandfather, if you will, one of the ghosts of the collection, one of the ghosts of fragrances from the designer realm. One of my favorites. To me, it'll never go out of style. It'll never be one of those that you won't be able to wear, and I love this one still. This one here is Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, okay? The Bleu de Chanel DNA, first off, very rich, very nice quality, nice scent quality. Even today in 2024, still gets great projection, great performance, great longevity. So for those of us who like that citrusy, woody, warm, spicy, and amber fragrances, you like that lemon, that mint, that pink pepper, that incense, that amber fragrance, you like a nice array of spiciness, woodiness, but also a citrusy freshness all day, all season occasion fragrance, you're definitely gonna love Bleu de Chanel. Out of the three flankers, you can't go wrong with any of them, but I love the Eau de Parfum the most, okay? All right, second fragrance, we're gonna switch realms and we're gonna get into the more aromatic side, and we're gonna go with the Armani Code perfume, Armani Code fragrance. And this one here that I have, this one here is called Armani Code, and this one is Armani Code Profumo, okay? Now, Armani Code Profumo is gonna be that aromatic fragrance that you're gonna wear out more so for the nighttime, a little bit more of a clubbing type fragrance, okay? You're gonna get that spicy, warm amber, you're gonna get that vanilla, more on the aromatic side of the fragrance spectrum. And I was out with my buddy, yesterday we were out, kind of fragrance shopping, window shopping, and we were talking about, kind of our scent styles or scent DNAs. And I really enjoy aromatic fragrances. You'll see that as a common characteristic in a lot of these lists today. That's still kind of the DNA, the blueprint of what I like in fragrances. I like that head turning appeal. I like that, kind of that ooh feeling that you get when people smell you. Yes, it's nice to be fresh and clean. It's nice to smell fresh and clean, and I've learned to acquire more of those in my collection, especially me who lives in a warm weather city. But for me, those aromatic fragrances, those aromatic DNAs that really have a level of mystery, a level of head turning appeal, you can't go wrong with them. Armani Code, just sticking with that, you're gonna get your cardamom, your green amber, you're gonna get your lavender, that tonka bean and amber. So in a fragrance like this, you really can't go wrong with it. Love the projection, love the performance, long lasting too. These first two have really been haters as far as long lasting, as far as the projection, as far as the scent quality. So again, if you like a warm, spicy, vanillic amber fragrance, definitely get your hands on Armani Code Profumo, all right? All right, next fragrance we have on deck is one of the earlier finds in my collection. And it was one of those, just sticking with what I was talking about, that reaction when the eyes go to the back of their head, the eye roll appeal, right, was one of those when I got my hands on this fragrance. And when women have smelled this fragrance on, it's like, ooh, I need that. What is that? And I haven't been able to wear it as frequently as I used to, because I've just acquired so many different scents, and it was kind of a little bit more youthful for me, kind of one that I don't really reach so much for, but more so I tell mentees of mine, I tell younger dudes to get a hold of. It's a great fragrance to get their collection started. But this fragrance here is Versace Eros, and I have the Eau de Toilette version, okay? So Versace Eros is gonna be that vanilla aromatic, but a little bit more on the fresh side, so a little bit more green, a little bit more fresh, spicy. You're gonna come at you with some mint, some green apple, some lemon. It's gonna have ambroxan. Ambroxan is one of those fragrance notes that I always talk about that I really enjoy in the fragrance because it helps it with the projection, it helps with the longevity. It also helps it kind of reach more people, more noses, so it helps you stand out. Also gives your fragrance a level of presence. Then in the base, you're gonna have that vanillic, amber, and cedar. So a nice green opening, nice green apple opening, a nice citrusy opening. Then you get to that spicier mid, and you get to that vanillic, woody base. So I really love this fragrance. I still like it. Every time I get my hands on it, anytime I smell it out, anytime I wear it out, I always get compliments on it. So definitely still love me some fragrance, all right? All right, next one we have is from the brand of Yves Saint Laurent. Now, Yves Saint Laurent, especially Yves Saint Laurent Y, The fragrance brand is one of those, again, those designers, very popular, very mass pleasing. But for me, they still put out really good fragrances. Okay. And so for me, I know anytime I can get my hands on Yves Saint Laurent Y DNA, I really love it. Now, the original Y, to me, I like that fragrance a lot, but that one was a little tart for some people. Tart in the sense of, you know, the DNA can kind of be a little bit too pungent. So this one I'm talking about, to me, gives it that OB, that fragrance mentor kind of, you know, style, that fragrance mentor sort of DNA. It's a little bit more aromatic when I had my hands on. That was the first thing I noticed. So this one here is Y Le Parfum. Okay, so Y Le Parfum is going to be coming at us with that apple, that aldehydes, that grapefruit, that ginger. Then you're going to have that lavender, you have that tonka bean, and that oat vitamin patchouli. But put simply, how Y Le Parfum is different, I always say they added a little bit more aldehydes and lavender to the Yves Saint Laurent DNA, and they made it a little bit more aromatic, which for me, I quite enjoy. And so, I mean, again, if you like a fresh, green, aromatic, fresh fragrance with a little bit of warm spices in it, you'll love this. If you love that Y DNA, but you want it a little bit more toned down, a little bit smoother, a little bit more aromatic, a little bit sweeter, put simply, you'll love Y Le Parfum, okay? All right, now the next one, we're gonna go to the fresh side of the spectrum. So we are, you know, as you get into fragrance, we hear about this fragrance called Creed Aventus, and you know, that is probably one of the more popular niche fragrances out there that exists, but that DNA has been able to be cloned many times over. But it's not very many fragrance brands that really get the DNA pinned down properly, but also give the fragrance a nice quality as well. So for me, this fragrance here is from the brand of Mont Blanc, and this one here is Mont Blanc Explorer. So Mont Blanc Explorer is going to come out with that Creed Aventus DNA. Put simply, if you like warm, citrusy, aromatic, amber, and musky fragrances, you like that fresh, fruity, citrusy fragrance, you'll love this. This is going to have that bergamot, that pink pepper, that clary sage. Then you're going to come at you with some ambroxan, some patchouli, and then some cacao pads. So a nice, citrusy, spicy opening with the pink pepper and the bergamot. And you're going to get that woody mid. And you're going to get that really spicy, projecting patchouli and ambroxan in the base. So again, another ambroxan-based fragrance that really has great performance, great scent quality, great longevity, and a really good warm weather / summer fragrance that you can get your hands on for your collection. All right. Next one is from another Dior. I don't think I have any Dior that I've talked about yet in the video, but this one here is from the brand of Dior Homme. So Dior is another one of those, again, those really popular, mass-pleasing designer brands. If you're gonna have designer fragrances, you're bound to have some Dior as you start to build your fragrance collection. And I really like this one here. This one is so good, so many compliments I've gotten from this one. And this one here is Dior Homme Intense, okay? So Dior Homme Intense is one of those, if you like the note iris, or you hear about a note called iris. Iris is that note that is kind of floral, and it kind of gives that soapy, kind of lipsticky accord. And that's what these Dior Homme fragrances are kind of known for, is that lipsticky accord. Now, when you hear the word or that term lipstick, you would think that's not feminine. It's actually not. It's a very masculine fragrance note, very fresh, very kind of powdery fresh is what I kind of describe this as. But it does have that musk, it does have that pear, it does have that cedar and vetiver, and the lavender that really gives it a nice, spicy, powdery, woody, musky fragrance for me that just is just really good. This is a really good office fragrance. This is also a good date night fragrance because of the aromatic qualities that it has in this. So if you like more of a powdery masculine fragrance, you want something that smells a little bit more aromatic and sweet but still has that masculine woods, you would definitely love Dior Homme Intense. I think you need to have a Dior Homme of some sort in your collection, definitely. And I love this one. I put my stamp of approval behind this one. All right, now this next one, I haven't always been too fond of overly spicy DNAs as far as fragrances are concerned. You know, overly woody DNAs can be a little bit off-putting. But this fragrance I have here is from the brand of Givenchy. And I always talk about Givenchy fragrances being really good as far as the scent quality of their fragrances. And this one here, my brother and I both actually quite enjoy. And this one is really known for this cacao and that peppery sandalwood that it gives off. But this one here is Givenchy Gentleman Boise, okay? So Voisin is gonna come at us with black pepper, coriander. It's gonna have some cacao, some cedar, and then it's gonna have sandalwood. So a really nice woody, powdery iris, pepper, and cacao fragrance. Okay, really masculine as well. Masculine, but it's fresh in the best way possible. You know, it's kind of it's interesting to explain. Think Dolce & Gabbana, the one eau de parfum, that masculine spiciness that you would get, but this one has way better performance and way better longevity. Also way better projecting. It's like if Dolce & Gabbana is the softer nighttime Netflix and chill version of it, this here is the day, night out version of it. And put simply, I really love this fragrance, love the scent quality. I always found myself going to it, especially when it gets cooler outside and it's not so cold, because then this fragrance really can stand out. You know, it's not gonna be so overly sweet, overly gourmand like a lot of people tend to wear during cold weather months. You know, they typically will try to go for something, you know, really vanillic, really chocolatey, really vanillic. Well, for me, I'll change it and I'll buck the trend and I'll go with something really spicy and masculine like this here. And I get compliments every time I wear this. So again, I love this fragrance. If you like something a little bit spicier, a little bit more peppery, you want that right there. All right, down to our last three. Now this first one, two of the last three are gonna come from the same brand. And I have no problem in doing that because I love these I love these last three fragrances. I put my stamp of approval behind them. But this first one we're gonna talk about here is from the brand of Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, if you know me and if you watch my channel enough, you know that I'm always representing JPG fragrances, and that's because I love them and I always get compliments from them. And my whole thing is to try to put my fragrance family on game on comment pulling fragrances. But this first one we're talking about is, first off, I love the bottle design, let alone the scent quality. And I'm not gonna lie, this is almost one that I thought was gonna be a dud, because when I first started wearing it, the projection was so soft that I was like, I really can't smell it too much. And then I was like, oh, you have to give this a chance. So this one here we're talking about is Jean Paul Gaultier. This one is Le Male Le Parfum. So put simply, this is subtle for a reason, because it's like calm whisper, you know, as far as the fragrance. What happened was, you know, I was wearing it out and I would walk into places, and it's not the most furthest projecting, it's not the most announced, it's not the most pronounced fragrance, but when you walk by, people are literally like, where did that just go? What was that? You know, and so that's the type of fragrance that creates conversation. Like, excuse me, like, no, I need to know what you're wearing. I need to know what fragrance that is, because that is good. I need to get that for my man, and you need to get that for me, whatever the case may be. And then naturally you start, how did you get into fragrances? And then boom, you just started a whole rabbit hole of the conversation. But Le Male Le Parfum, if you like warm, spicy, if you like vanillic and lavender aromatic fragrances, you're gonna love this. The note breakdown is actually quite simple. It's cardamom, lavender, iris, and vanilla with some oriental notes. So it's that Le Male DNA made a little bit more manly, a little bit more mature, with a little bit more iris and some more oriental notes. But put simply, the performance is great. Projection is not that strong, but this is actually, that's a good thing for this fragrance in my opinion. I think that's the design. The Le Male DNA and the Ultra Male are gonna be more loud, more projecting, you know, especially the original Le Male is gonna have that lavender mint. Then Ultra Male is gonna come at you with that apple and pear, which that one is great too, don't get me wrong, but this one here really just took that Le Male DNA and kind of grew it up. And it's really a good man's man type of fragrance, and I think one of those that you guys really would love, okay? Now, this next fragrance we're talking about, it's so unfortunate because, again, it's just kind of a mystery as far as the story behind this fragrance and kind of how fast it got popular, and then as quick as it got popular is when they discontinued it. And this is one of those, it taught me the lesson that when you find something, if something is good as far as fragrance is concerned, guys, pull the trigger on it, no regrets, because you never know when it can disappear. So again, this fragrance I'm talking about right here, this is called Yves Saint Laurent, and this is La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electric. Okay, so again, I always reference the story about this fragrance. For me was that it had just dropped in 2021, I believe, and my older brother Bernard went, boom, got it as soon as it hit Macy's. He brought it home. And, you know, he was like, hey, Mike, try this out, because we're both in the fragrances. So I try it. I'm like, wow, that is good. Yeah, he's like, hey, man, go get it. Go get it, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're collecting. I was like, how much is it run for? And I was like, I'll get it off a discounter. Being me, I'm thinking this is going to hit a discount. That's how I shop for fragrances most times. And then I was like, no, I need it. I'm probably gonna be aggressive and get the big bottle, especially because my original bottle of La Nuit de L'Homme was running low, and La Nuit de L'Homme, the original, does not perform well. This performs a little bit better than that one. So then I go up to Macy's and it's nowhere to be found. So then when I asked the lady, I'm like, do you guys have any La Nuit Bleu Electrique in the back? Literally discontinued within 4 months of it existing. And it had been gone, like it was awful. We used the wrong website, every fragrance place, Ulta, Sephora, just wiped out. And so I was hurt because now it's such a rare commodity to find. You couldn't find it anywhere. You couldn't find it in any mom and pop shop. And then how I got my hands on this bottle, my fragrance store that I shop at, I go in there and I'm like, yeah, they had it in oil for a long time. They were able to get the fragrance in oil. So then I asked them, like, hey, can I get some more oil? And they were like, oh, you don't just want the bottle of it? And I thought they were playing. I was like, yeah, y'all ain't got no bottle, man, shut up. And they was like, no, literally they had the bottle. So blind bought it, got my hands on Bleu Electrique, and so now I have it in the collection. And every time I wear it, I'm so happy because it is so good. So again, Bleu Electrique is gonna come out with that La Nuit de L'Homme DNA, but it's gonna have a little bit more ginger, it's gonna have some geranium and some more cedar, so a little bit fresher, a little bit more outdoorsy, a little bit more fresh, spicy rather than just aromatic and spicy with the cardamom, okay? But simply this DNA is better. If you can find Bleu Electrique anywhere, get your hands on it, blind buy it. Don't hesitate because it will sell out fast. The few times it's been able to hit some store, whether it's Fragrance Buy, whether it's Amazon, whether it's German Shop, it'll come and go in the blink of an eye, and then you can't get your hands on it. So anytime you see Bleu Electrique, this is the fragrance mentor telling you, hey, as your mentor, get your hands on it, okay? All right, last fragrance for the day. Another Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance, and again, I love that brand so much just because of the design, because of the fragrances, because of the quality. You just can't go wrong with them, honestly. But this last fragrance of the day we're gonna talk about is this one here. Just this bottle is sexy too. This is Le Male Elixir. Okay, so Le Male Elixir is basically gonna take the Le Male DNA and even the Le Male Parfum DNA, and they're just gonna, instead of oriental notes, they're gonna add benzoin, and they're gonna add honey to it, okay? So lavender, mint, vanilla, benzoin, honey, tonka bean, and tobacco. So a little bit more gourmand from the honey, a little bit spicier from the tobacco, and a little bit more, how I would say, amberish, violet, a little bit more of a honey, lavender kind of fragrance, okay? But put simply, this is strong projecting. If you don't like Le Male Parfum as much because you don't like the projection, this one's a stronger projector. This one also, I think, to me, performs a little bit better than Le Male Parfum, and even Ultra Male to that degree. I mean, this is one of those I can spray 3 sprays and I'm good for the day. I'm gonna respray. You know, any fragrance that you really don't have to respray is a good fragrance for me because now you don't have to waste so many sprays. You don't have to waste it, which means you can keep it in your collection longer, okay? But I love this fragrance. I love every fragrance that I mentioned today. So all these have my stamp of approval. You can blind buy any of the 10 that are mentioned today. Try it and test it, and you won't be disappointed, all right? So, and this is in no particular order, I would say. Not yet, at least. It's just a matter of your fragrance palette. Let's run it down. So you want your timeless classic, you can come with this one here. This one's Bleu de Chanel. You want a nice night out amber fragrance with a little bit of warm spicy, boom, you're gonna come with this one. I'm already cold. With a Parfum, you want that nice bubblegummy sweet apple and mint, boom, you're gonna come Versace Eros. You still want YDNA with a little bit more aldehydes, a little bit more aromatic, boom, Y Le Parfum. You want that iris lipsticky masculine fragrance with some lavender, boom, you're gonna come with this one right here, Dior Homme Intense. You want a nice spicy woody sandalwood fragrance for the masculine pleasing, boom, you're gonna come with this one. This one here is called Boisé by Givenchy Gentleman. You want a nice citrusy Creed Aventus type DNA, boom, you're gonna come in with this one, Mont Blanc Explorer. All right, you want a nice oriental, vanillic, and spicy cardamom fragrance, boom, Le Male Le Parfum. Nice subtle projection, okay? Get your hands on this hidden gem by Yves Saint Laurent Y. Don't think about it, boom. La Nuit de L'Homme, Bleu Electrique. Lastly, if you want that Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male DNA, but with some honey and tobacco, boom. Le Mans Elixir. Guys, that'll do the top 10 designer fragrances in my collection. Again, Blind by Worthy. I love all these fragrances. All mass pleasing, all compliment pulling, all Blind by Worthy. Okay, that'll do it for today. I appreciate all you guys for listening, tune in, tap in with the channel. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share this video with a fellow fraghead. Comment down below any videos y'all want me to do next, and we'll catch you on the next one. Much love.